Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're continuing our story on Luther Strode, a young kid whose life turns upside down because he learned something he wasn't supposed to. And picking up from where we left off in the last video, he returns back to school after beating the bully that has been picking on him and his friends. Understandably, he was on edge. He just beat the bully, the head of the school. He was expecting some people to pull up on him. Like I said, understandably, but his friend PT didn't get the memo. He thought it would be funny to sneak up on his friend and surprise him. It didn't end well, and he was pissed off. But at the same time, you should understand, because of your ass, I beat up a bully and now he's aiming for me. He just wanted to lay low and go for classes, but that was impossible because the whole school heard that he beat up a bully and they were looking at him. Everyone was looking at him. It was the new it kid in school, and he didn't want to be the it kid in school. Unsurprisingly, the bully pulled up with his friends, and for some reason he couldn't talk. Understandably, because Luther shattered his jaw. So now his friends had to translate for him, and Pete found this funny. He wasn't supposed to find this funny, because even if Luther was strong, he wasn't. He could still get his ass beat. But the thing is, Luther was never going to let that happen. Pete was his friend, and at that moment, a big ocean of rage came flooding out. Grabbing onto the bully's hand, he pressed it hard, shattering in it, and when the bully dropped to his knees, using his other hand, he took his head. At that moment, all he could see was red. He was on kill mode, seeing only the muscle of people around him. He butchered everyone, and I mean everyone. He tore Pete in half, punched people's heads off their shoulders. He was a killer. But all of that was just happening in his head. Got you. He just told the bullies to walk away, knowing full well that they couldn't take him right now. They decided to let it go. But Pete was enjoying this. But we see that while Pete was having the time of his life, Luther wasn't. He's not a man of violence. He never was. He has met a lot of men of violence, so he decided to be different. And at that moment, she came through. This sick, psycho, hot chick that Luther for some reason had the hots for. Even if she was very suspicious. I mean, she never even knew he existed 2 days ago. But now, all of a sudden, she had the hots for him, cracking jokes, giving him signals to kiss her. But Luther was a nerd. He couldn't understand the signals, so she had to pull him in and kiss him herself. He was having the time of his life. But while he was enjoying his life, this bully, he was going through it because he was having his own daydreaming session, dreaming about beating the crap out of Luther over and over again in front of a crowd. He was angry, but suddenly he felt a drop on his face. Blood. A few questions came to mind. Am I bleeding? And where is this blood coming from? Only to look up and see that his roof is soaked in it. Someone was bleeding out above him. And he called his father and his mother with no response. He had to check it himself, running upstairs in full force, only to discover a massacre. All the members of his family were dead, and standing in the middle was the librarian, making jokes about wearing his mother's apron. He was terrified because he knew he was going to be next. And so he took off, running with such speed the librarian had to chase him down and catch him. But this librarian was fast, punching through the wall and tossing him down the steps. He walked down slowly, and the bully thought he could defend himself with his barbell. But the librarian just caught it and bent it, smiling. This is not how you work out. All you need is your hands. Returning back to Luther, while this guy was getting massacred and beat down, Luther was training because that book he picked up had opened his mind. He was one with his body. He was amazing, really spectacular. And by God, he didn't know it yet. But someone was watching him, the love of his life, apparently. She had snuck into his house and he was shocked. Why is this babe, who for some reason I like, sneaking into my apartment? She made it clear that she was just here to hang out, which is very suspicious, but like I said, he liked her, so he got dressed. And she made an X-rated joke. But that just made me know that she's a little bit crazy. She explained that she just came to visit because obviously he was suspended after the fight. And she just wanted to hang out. But Luther just wanted to know how and why did you come here? And swiftly she changed the topic, trying to seduce him. And when Pete found out, he was having the time of his life. Pete is one of those guys that live their life through the experiences of their friends. So he was happy for Luther, but Luther was distracted because at that moment, the store they were in was about to get robbed, and Luther was the only hero here to stop this. The trigger was watching one of the robbers take advantage of another female, and Luther was not going to watch that happen. Never again. So he launched a missile, which was a milk. He took the robber right off his feet and slammed him into the wall. And Luther said one line, "Walk away." But obviously, they were not going to walk away because they had guns. So they shot, and Luther dodged every single bullet, grabbing some candy and tossing it with such precision. They got stuck in the barrel of the gun, and they were shocked. How did he do that? But nah, Luther was just way too fast. Grabbing a hold of both of these robbers and slamming them against each other, he knocked them out swiftly. In a microsecond, we see that Luther, for some reason, had combat sense. Nobody's meant to do this, no regular kid. The owner of this store called him a hero, but Pete made it clear that he's not a hero. He's a superhero. This is just a start. I promise you the next video will blow your mind. Like and subscribe and share. God bless you. Bye.